Hello, everyone. So I'm 30 minutes late because I was on my main page doing my live. I haven't done that in a while. So I'm Jerry Cates, and I'm here to talk about healthy boundaries. And this is week 4 of a series I'm doing here in Secrets to Becoming an Empowered Woman about healthy boundaries. And today we're talking about they rely on me too much, how to stop being the fixer. If that's you, put a yes in the chat. Hey, Karen. Hi. We're talking about healthy boundaries and not being the fixer. And I'm just starting because I was live in somewhere else. I didn't realize it. So I thought I'd come here and figure out what I'm going to do with that other video. Okay, so what are we talking about? Are you the one that everyone turns to when things go wrong? Do you feel exhausted from carrying responsibilities that aren't yours? Do you wish you could support others without feeling drained and overwhelmed? If that's you, put a yes in the chat. If you said yes, then this session's for you. So I want to touch on what we've covered, and you'll find these in the guide section under Healthy Boundaries series. Week 1, we did Overcoming Guilt, How to Say No Without Feeling Bad, Learning to Set Boundaries Without Guilt. Week 2, we did I Don't Want to Let Anyone Down, How to Honor Your Limits Without Guilt, Saying No with Confidence and Clarity. And week 3, I'm afraid they'll be upset. How to handle pushback with confidence. That was a really good one. Staying firm when people challenge your boundaries. Some good skills and scripts in each of those weeks. So we're on week 4. They rely on me too much. How to stop being the fixer. So what's the main problem with this? Feeling responsible for solving everyone's problems. That's the problem with it. Constantly being needed, leaving little time for yourself. That's why you're exhausted if this is you. And fear that if you stop fixing things, others will suffer or you'll lose your identity. That's who I am. Have you ever known anyone to say that's like, oh, I fix everything. They all come to me, right? But if you're exhausted, hi, Marianne. If you're exhausted, it might be time to take a step back and notice how you're showing up in relationships. So the big problem is you're over functioning in relationships, taking on responsibilities that aren't yours. This leads to exhaustion, resentment. Now, that one, I'm going to come back to that resentment and enabling rather than empowering others. You ever feel resentful about someone you love, someone in your family, maybe your spouse, just feeling kind of this resentment or this, underlying feeling. And then the dynamics are that you're overdoing anyway, right? So there's this resentment. They don't appreciate it, whatever it is. My point is, we're setting that up. So, for the sake of this talk, to step back and as I share these things with you, look at yourself and notice is that you? Because there's a solution. We can change it. So, the big solution: shifting from fixing to supporting. That's point 1. Fixing, shifting from fixing to supporting, allowing others to take responsibility for their own growth while you reclaim your time and energy. See how easy that is? So this talk is for you. If you feel like you're always the one fixing, rescuing, or managing everything, or if you struggle to let others handle their own responsibilities, just take an honest look at yourself. You just say, "Oh, well, let me just do it," and not allow them that opportunity. And this talk is for you if you want to help, and support without feeling drained. Ooh, what a concept, huh? It's possible. What you're about to discover is the difference between helping and over functioning, and how to let go of the guilt of stepping back, right? Because we feel a little guilty. That's what keeps us in the game, is that guilt. Um, you'll also discover a powerful script for setting boundaries around what's yours to carry. So let me share a little story. I was taking Feminine Power, and it's one of the courses I offer is the essential course for the awakening woman. And this is a few months after the course, actually. I think I was on to another course. But the coach said we were doing a meditation. In fact, if you're somewhere where you can do it, just like sit there and close your eyes and take a deep breath and think about yourself, getting yourself to the next level. And what's in the way? What feelings are in the way? Is it exhaustion? Is it resentment? What's in the way? So the coach asked me what was in the way, and for me, it was resentment. And I had some resentment toward my husband at the time. And so she had me close my eyes and say, take a deep breath. I'm 100% responsible for what I think, what I say, what I feel, and what I do. And just being in that space, I'm 100% responsible for what I think, what I say, what I feel, and what I do. And notice what happens for you when you're standing in your power here, how illuminated you are. And what do you see around you? Me, I see a big open meadow. I see space. So that's what the coach asked me when she had me close my eyes and get into this space. She asked me, what do you see? I said, a big meadow. Where's the resentment? And I looked around the meadow and I said, there's no room for resentment. And that's exactly the point. When I'm 100% responsible for what I say, what I think, what I feel, and what I do, there's no room for resentment or anger or strife, right? So now seeing yourself as 100% responsible, now see someone that you know that you overfunction in that relationship. Just pick one person out. I'm sure we can all find one person, right? And I want to invite you to see them as 100% responsible for what they say, think, feel, and do. And just letting go of any thoughts of like, yeah, right, or whatever judgments, just letting that go. Just seeing them in their light, their illuminated light of energy, being 100% responsible for what they say, they think, they feel, they do. It's a shift in a different place. So think of it this way. If I'm 100% responsible, and whether it's my partner or my child or coworker, but they're 100% responsible, now we're powerful together, and we only need to bring like 50%, right? Because we're grounded, right? So just bringing it back to yourself in that feeling of I'm 100% responsible for what I say, what I think, what I feel, what I do. And you can stretch and open your eyes when you're ready. I love that exercise. I love that exercise. What do you see? And I could see myself looking around this big meadow. And I said, I see a meadow. She said, what happened to the resentment, or where's the resentment? There's no, or, and that's what came to me. There's no space for it. There's no room for it. Okay. So let's get to our points here. Our first point is helping versus fixing, the key distinction. Helping, here's the point. Helping is supportive, fixing is taking over. Can you see the distinction? Helping is supportive, fixing is taking over. It's like, oh, let me do it, or I'll take care of it for you. That's what I'm talking about. And the biggest problem associated with this point is people become dependent on you instead of learning to handle things themselves, right? Yes, excuse me. And you feel burned out, exhausted, and overwhelmed. And the other problem is relationships become imbalanced with you constantly giving and others taking. That's a ticket for exhaustion. So what's the solution? Recognizing where you're over functioning and shifting to healthy support. Being 100% responsible and uh, um, expecting them to be. Now, I may expect them to be, and I'm not going to like tell them you need to be 100% responsible. I mean, I'm standing in that possibility with them, and I'm helping them um, find their way so that they can be 100% responsible. That's my goal: is that we are each 100% responsible for what we say, think, feel, and do. Yes. Anyway, like I said, the solution is recognizing where you're over functioning and shifting to healthy support. And what this makes possible is stronger, more independent relationships, more energy and freedom for yourself, and the ability to truly empower others instead of enabling them, right? So I want to invite you. Here's a simple action step. These are really powerful if you do them. Write down 3 areas where you've taken responsibility for someone else's problem. If you can name one, that's really powerful. And then ask yourself, is this truly mine to fix? It's powerful insight there. So, writing down 3 areas where you've taken responsibility for someone else's problem, and then asking yourself, is this really mine to fix? Let's talk about point number 2, why letting go feels so hard and how to shift it. What the point is many fixers struggle to step back because they believe if I don't do it, no one will. Put a 1 in the chat if that's you. It's my job to make sure everything is okay. Again, a 1 in the chat. If I'm stopped fixing, they won't need me anymore. Because this is what I tie my value to, right? If I stop fixing, they won't need me. The biggest problem associated with this is fear of being seen as uncaring and struggle to let go of control, right? If you've been in control all that time, it's kind of hard to let go. And then guilt for prioritizing yourself. You see the dynamics that go on here that put us in this unhealthy boundary? So what's the solution? Reframing your role. You are not responsible for managing everything. And this solution, what it makes possible is more trust in others to figure things out. You're letting go, you're making space for them, and less stress and emotional exhaustion. Can you see that? It's like let go, allow them, and freedom to focus on your own goals and needs. What would that be like? What would that be like? So, simple action step. The next time you feel the urge to step in, literally pause and ask, is this something they're capable of handling themselves? Write that down. You're going to want that one. Is this something they're capable of handling themselves? Okay. All right. So now the best part, the script, the loving boundary script, and how to step back with confidence, right? So what's the point? Setting a firm but loving boundary that allows you to step back while still being supportive. You're going to love this. So, the biggest problem associated with this is fear of disappointing others, guilt about saying no, and uncertainty about how to phrase it kindly. I got you covered. So, the solution is using the loving boundary script to communicate your limits while still offering support. All right, you ready? There's 3 steps to it. And I'll say what the steps are, and then I'll go back and say the step and the script. But I want you to get the idea of the 3 steps: acknowledging their need, set your boundary clearly, and encourage independence. See how empowering that could be? So, acknowledging their need. I hear that this is really important to you. Set your boundary clearly. I can't take this on right now, but I know you'll figure out a solution. And then encourage independence. I trust you're capable of handling this, and I'm happy to support you in finding a way forward. So I'm not cutting them off. I'm acknowledging them, setting that boundary, and encouraging them to move forward. Now let's contrast this with how we might normally respond to a boundary or lack thereof, where there might be an argument about it, or we might say, "Oh, you never take care of yourself, or you never take care of things. I always have to do it." You know what I'm talking about? The dynamics that go on in those unhealthy exchanges when we don't have good boundaries, because there's resentment, there's uneasy feelings, there's this feeling of exhaustion. So having this boundary and starting to use it can be powerful. If you just use this one or picked any of them and used it all week, watch your life shift, watch your relationships shift. And the thing is that we're doing this in a way where we're coming from love, right? I'm not saying, no, that doesn't work for me, and I have this and I have that to do, because that's given them information that they can use as ammunition, right? So it's just so powerful. I hear that this is really important to you. That's really acknowledging that they have this need. I can't take this on right now, but I know you'll figure out a solution. I trust you're capable of handling this, and I'm happy to support you in finding a way forward. So it's like I'm still here for you. I'm shifting it to a place where empowerment can take place. Yeah? Right. I love it. So what did we talk about? Oh, yeah, I want you to practice this script, right? Because the solution is healthier balance in relationships, more emotional energy, and stronger, more empowered connections. I just wanted to really shine a light on that. That's what's possible when you do just something simple like this. And the idea is to practice it and get it in your tool belt, and that way, when something comes up, you're ready. It's your go-to, right? And if you need help with this, so just taking a look at yourself and noticing if you're the fixer and you're not really sure where to start, we can have a call and have a conversation that matters, right? Where we'll figure out, identify where you're overcommitting and look at what's making it hard to step back. What are your belief systems about that make it hard to step back? And we can address those and set some new frameworks in there, right? Step into a more powerful place and find a way to set boundaries that feel right for you. The thing is if you have a rough time or a relationship where you're having trouble with boundaries, unless you do something, it's not going to change. So if you're ready to roll up your sleeves, I have some tools. So write clarity in the chat if you're ready, and we'll get on a call. I'll reach out to you. So next week is week 5. Week 5. It's a surprise because I don't have the name of it in front of me. But each week we've gone and done, looked at boundary setting from a little bit different angle, right? So that, because I'm trying to capture all those feelings that we're having about it, like, that helping versus fixing, being the fixer. You can go to the guide section. Weeks 1 through 3 is there now, and then today's will be up there in a little bit. And you don't even have to watch the video, but listening to the video when you're doing something around the house. I have one of my clients binge listening to my videos on the way to work. There is so much powerful information in the guide section here. And Facebook groups don't have guide sections anymore. If I open up a new group, and even groups I've had open for a while, but I never opened up a guide section, that feature is gone. So right now there's over 100 videos in the guide section. I know it's well over that, but I can cop to 50 meditations and at least 50 talks. So I just want to invite you to go scroll through those. There's a few different categories, but scroll through those and find something that resonates with you. Or if you're struggling with an area in your life and you want me to send you some content then send me a direct message. Say, hey, Jerry, I'm struggling with this. Can you send me something? Or just tell me I'm struggling with this, right? Looking for a video, looking for a meditation. Just let me know. What do you need? What do you need? So thank you, Karen, for sticking around, and Mary Ann. I haven't seen you in so long. Yes, I appreciate I appreciate it so much. I'll see you next Tuesday at 4:30. And hey, go back and get some of the scripts, practice it. Just practice. Pick one, and look at the name of the talk that resonates with you most, and pick the script that comes out of it, and then practice it with your loved ones, and watch everything change. All right, sending you love. Bye now.